What's up, everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and it's time to get into the new collection from Cosmic Brushes. So mine showed up today, and I brought my extra thirsty self over here to film with it. So this is the highlighter palette that they came out with called Frosting, and then here is the cute little eyeshadow palette called Delicious Delights. So as soon as I saw the package on these in the color store of this palette, I was like, yes, I need it. I need it right now. 20 minutes after y'all release these photos, I need to give you all of my money and you need to send it immediately. So this is what she looks like on the inside. Sorry, y'all forgot to take the plastic out, but that's what it looks like. Honey, it's giving. I'm living. I need it. Thank you so much. Yes. So I'm like, I had to have it, and I was going to have it. Now, I was excited about the highlighter palette just because they haven't come out with any face products. Yeah, but I was saying, like, I was excited that the face palette came out because they've never come out with a face palette before. So I was excited to see what these colors are going to look like and see how the formula is going to perform on these. So, of course, we're going to start off with these, but I'm going to show the palettes that I'm comparing to them first, and then we'll get into the eyeshadow palette portion. Because I only have a couple of highlighter palettes to compare because I don't really buy highlighter palettes, especially this kind of coloring. So, of course, y'all know I was going to start off with the Rick and Morty one since, you know, this is a recent one that came out and it has that iridescent like glow to it. I feel like they don't have the same colors, at least I'm hoping they don't, because then it's like I'm gonna just have doubles for no reason. But it's fine because I wanted to try out their formula and I knew it was gonna be affordably priced. And with the Rick and Morty, it was a great deal because I think it was like $76 with Karen's code. You can use Karen's code Cage Makeup at Cosmic Brushes as well, so just go on ahead over there and use code Cage Makeup, girl, and save some coins. How you doing? So I'm gonna swatch these shades. We have Golden Apple here, this greenish purple shifting one it looks like. Then we have Cinnamon Swirl. And then we have Blueberry Muffin. So let's swatch those. Ooh, it feels so nice and soft. Ooh, look at it. That's Golden Apple. Honey, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I like it, yeah. They feel so soft and pillowy. Next we have Cinnamon Swirl. It didn't have the same consistency. That one smelled like one of those, felt like one of those smooth, you know, metallic eyeshadows that look like liquid on the lid. That's what Cinnamon Swirl looks like. Cinnamon Swirl is the one I feel like that looks like it blends in best with my skin tone, kind of like the shade Cosmos in the Rick and Morty palette. So, ooh, yes. And then Blueberry Muffin. Honey, I'm liking Blueberry Muffin. I would love to top, what is it? Uncharted on top of it. I think it looks stunning. So now I'm going to swatch. We want some Glam Light next to it. So Uncharted, yes, Uncharted on top of this would be so reflective and crazy. Look, so this is Uncharted and this is Blueberry Muffin. Ooh, honey, those combined, I feel like they would look stunning. I'm going to Cosmos now and swatch it next to this one. I feel like that would look nice with it as well. Yeah, I feel like Cosmos on top of Cinnamon Swirl would look nice as well. So I feel like these will actually complement each other nicely. The only one I feel like that's not gonna go with anything is gonna be Anomaly, most likely. I'm gonna put it in front of the green one just so you can see. Yes, the Anomaly I feel like doesn't go with too much of anything compared to what else we have going on. Well, I guess you could put it on top of Blueberry Muffin, but with the shift it has from what I remember, I don't feel like it'll be that great. So those are those swatch. My battery, of course, wanted to die right after I started this, after my card wanted to get full. So honey, as usual, it's just a whole hot mess. Yes, I keep bringing the same card like a whole clown. So it's kind of a me thing. It's not a you thing. But anyway, let me go off camera and get my life in order. I'm going to take these swatches off my hands. So take a good look, girl. Remember, this one is Glam Light, Cosmic Brushes, Cosmic Brushes. Wait, no. Yeah, Cosmic Brushes, Glam Light, Cosmic Brushes, Glam Light. Because when I come back, we're going to get into the Unearthly Cosmetics, what is this? Ghoul Light palette and compare it to this one. I feel like they're not going to be the same. I feel like the Unearthly Cosmetics is going to be deeper than the Cosmic Brushes, but still, you know, you're here, we're here. Everything's here, why not? Y'all know how I am. Be right back. Okay, y'all, so on to this palette. So we're going to start off with the shade Thirst. And I guess I'll swatch that alongside, with the Cinnamon Swirl, because I feel like that's the one it's closest to, So there is Thirst alongside Cinnamon Swirl. As you can see, it has that reddish tone to it. So I actually feel like they both put similar colors to choose, because as you can see, there's the red one, there's the green one, and there's the purple one. And I feel like this one is more pinkish, reddish. You got the green and you got the purple. So it might be a good alternative to the Unearthly Cosmetics one. There's the shade Creepy Crawl. So this is Creepy Crawl alongside what do you call it? Golden Apple. And then this is Cinnamon Swirl alongside Thirst. Now we're gonna get into the shade Chilling. And we're gonna put that alongside Blueberry Muffin. Now Chilling is giving more of an icy 90s effect in my personal opinion. As you can see, it's not really pulling that purple as I was hoping it would, but I feel like maybe mixed with this one it might do that. I'm not exactly sure, but that's what the highlighter shades look like. So if you have this highlighter palette, you might not need to get the Cosmic Brushes one. I prefer just from swatching the Cosmic Brushes one, but that doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to prefer it on my face. We'll have to wait and see, girl. Then when it comes to the Rick and Morty one, I like the color story in this one just fine too. So I like the color stories and the formulas and all of them, but if I like the formulas the best, just based upon swatching, I like the Cosmic Brushes one the best. Then I like the Glam Light one, and I like the Unearthly Cosmetics one last. Let me zoom you in real quick and cute like girl. If you're curious what's going on with the eyes right now, I mixed the Secret Garden palette from who was it? Colored Rain, in with the Yucca palette from Natasha Denona. So I used all the bright greenish shades to put in the crease to give that vibrance that you see in my crease. Then I took the blue from the Natasha Denona palette. Y'all know I took the orange from the Secret Garden palette. I was complaining about there being no orange, so I just went to another palette, found it myself. Thank you so much. And then I think the neutral shades that's in the crease I used from the Yucca palette as well, and the shimmer. So I literally, but the Secret Garden palette is all matte. So there you go. Let's get into this highlighter, girl. So I'm gonna start off with Cinnamon Swirl down the middle of my face as usual, and then we'll put Golden Apple on one side and Blueberry Muffin on the other side, just like I did with the what's it called, the Glam Light one. So this shade just seems to be a little more glittery than the Glam Light one, just on putting it on my face. Because if you all remember, the Glam Light one didn't really show up as much. It was closer to my mixing in my skin tone, whereas I feel like this one you can see the color on it when I pick it up on the brush. And I feel like this one's more glittery upon putting it on my face from what I remember. But you can go back and watch that video if you wanted to see like a live on my face comparison. But this is Cinnamon Swirl down the middle of my face. As you can see, the color best on some of my skin tone on my chin. So there you go. Now let's dust this brush off, and I'm going to start off with the shade Blueberry Muffin on this side, and then I'll put Golden Apple on this side. I feel like I'm gonna like Golden Apple the best. Ooh, look at that purple. Okay. If you need a purple highlighter, she's definitely giving. It has like a putty-like consistency too, which I'm finding. But it looks nice. It's not really giving a bruise effect like I thought it might, because of the deepness of the purple once I saw it on my face. But it's giving a nice smooth, like when you turn your head you can see the reflectionness of it all, but it's not really glittery like the Glam Light one was. I feel like the Glam Light one gave a little bit more of a glittery effect, if you all remember in the video. Now let's get into this Golden Apple shade, because this is what I'm most excited about. Hopefully I like it on my face, because I'm loving the way it looks in the pan. Ooh, look at that. Yes, honey. Like Teresa's dead. It's like an alien slut. Like, it's, look at that. I'm loving the way they're looking on the skin, because when you rub it in, it's not, although it looks glittery, I feel like it doesn't give that glittery reflect like some products that look like this do. So I feel like it's doing a decent subtle job, even though I did put on a colorful highlighter. So I'm liking the fact that they're basically wearable colorful highlighters, because I feel like I could get away with wearing this like out to dinner with friends, trying to be a little extra and have a little pop of fun. If I didn't do a crazy eye look, I would definitely put like this green highlighter on and be thinking I'm doing it, or put this purple one on if I was trying to be a mystical fairy. So I was like, I'm liking this highlighter palette a lot. I would definitely recommend you try it if you don't have the Glam Light one or the Unearthly one. I feel like it's a really good alternative for you, and they have amazingly reasonable prices for their products with the quality that they give. So now let's go into this eyeshadow palette. Let me back you up a little bit. You're a little bit too close, girl, but you know, you still stay there a little bit, just not as close as you were. So of course I'm going to show the palette now. So I'm gonna show the palettes that they already have come out with. They have 4 palettes, including this one. I just don't own the first one. I own every other palette they have though. I want to get the first one. I'll get it eventually, but I figured you all wouldn't be in a rush to see a video on the first one, since they have newer ones with color stories that we've seen on Instagram and love. So I was like, I'll get it eventually. I'm just not gonna rush. I'm starting with the Muse palette. We all know they don't match. I just want you to see what kind of variety the brand has, just in case you happen to find this one and you hadn't seen any of their other palettes. So this is what Muse looks like. This was the one they came out with right before this one, and then Serenity is the one they came out with last year that everybody was obsessed with, because this came out this year, but this is what they look like. Of course they don't match at all. I gotta leave this here for a palette and it's time video. Next, I have the Serenity palette. Now this one I feel like will pair nicely with this palette. I feel like these would pair nicely together because you get some more deeper tones in here that aren't in here, because the only deep tone here is the purple one. So of course I'm going to have to do something with the purple. I don't have too many options with that. But with this one, I feel like you could grab some of the deeper tones in here and pair with this palette if you want to have more. And then you have nice airbrush and pastel shades to go along with this palette. So I'm interested to see what I can come up with combining both of these in the future. But for right now, we're just going to work with this one. But I wanted you to see all of what they had to offer side by side. Now y'all know I'm going to save my favorite ones to compare to this one to the end. So it's most likely going to be the Unearthly ones and the Glam Light one. But I have the Natasha Denona Pastel palette. That's what they look like side by side. I'm going to try to get the reel up the next day after this video goes up, like I did with the Sugar and Grunge palette. I don't think you've seen it on YouTube yet, but it's already on my Instagram. So make sure you're following JoBeauty7 on Instagram, because my reels go up on Instagram before they go up on YouTube. But this is what she looks like. I don't think I put it up on Instagram, on YouTube yet. I honestly don't remember though, so don't quote me. Next, I have the Koi palette from Viseart. Now, they have a miniature version of this. I don't know if they sell the full size one anymore. I bought the full size one, but I feel like this could be a good companion palette with this one, because it doesn't have a lot of shimmers in here. And some of the shimmers in here they don't have in this palette, so I feel like that'd be nice, like the iridescent shimmers I feel like they have in this one, but I don't have to see that many in this one. I think there's one in here, so I feel like this would be good to pair for shimmers with these mattes or with any other pastel palettes you might have. Like I would pair this with the pastel palette from Natasha Denona and get some nice looks out of it, but I just don't really like the matte form of that. Next, I have the So Strange palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. I was excited to see how this would pair with it, because I feel like these would make gorgeous palette mashups or palette combinations, because look at these shades. Like I feel like these are a little bit more vibrant than these, since these are a little pastel-y, so I could use some of these as outer V shades. This shimmer right here is truly stunning, and I feel like it'll go nicely with the multi-chrome shimmer in here. So I'm excited to make looks with these. All next week I'll be trying to make looks with this and this what is it, the grunge palette, the sweet and sugar and grunge palette. So I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to put this palette with this one. Now that I've shown it to you, I've had this stuff sitting here waiting for this palette to come just to do this video, because I was so excited, y'all. Next, I have the Vitality palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. I heard she's redoing this according to Angelica Nyquist, or Angie here on YouTube. She was saying that she said she's going to change out some of the shades and do it a little bit differently. So y'all can let me know if you want me to buy the one with the new shades and tell you my thoughts on it, because y'all know this is one of my all-time favorite palettes from them. So if she's going to change some of the shades out and I think some of the shimmers out, I'd be interested to see if I like that one better than this one, because this, I'm telling y'all, is one of my all-time favorite ones. But I feel like this will definitely go great with this one, because again, there's darker tones in here that aren't in here, since there's one dark tone, and plus I feel like the shimmers and mattes in here would just go nicely with this palette, because I feel like a lot of these are lighter and a lot of these are like deeper in mid-tone, so it'll pair well. And the last one we have to talk about, of course, is the Glam Light Ice Cream Dream palette. I was gonna show the what is it, the Play and Makeup by Yolando palette that I compared to this one, but I think I left it at home, or it's here and I just don't know what it is, to be perfectly honest. So here's what they look like side by side. I feel like these look quite similar. So this is one of those, like, if you have this, maybe you don't need to get this one. But what I like about this one is the dark purple shade in here, and I love that it has a multi-chrome. With this one, you just get regular shimmers, and you still get neutrals, and I feel like there aren't any neutrals in this palette, which I can appreciate, because it's like, it's supposed to be colorful, go colorful all the way. I don't want to see any neutral shades besides maybe one for me to use as a transition shade in the crease. So that's what they look like. I'm gonna have to do an overrated versus underrated now on these two palettes. As usual, I had an idea in the middle of another video, but let me zoom you in real quick and cute like. You can get a close-up of this eye look I have on right now that I wore to work today. Y'all know I've been putting a deeper shade on the outer V after I put the shimmer on now. I feel like this one didn't work out as well as I was hoping to. It felt like it was a little difficult to blend this shade into the orange and get it the way I wanted it to, so it doesn't look perfect like I was hoping. But you know, I just went with it because I had to go to work. Anybody have time? But I'm gonna go off camera, get my life in order. Y'all know I'm gonna have to use this dark purple just because it's the only thing in here. And I don't know what else I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna try to come up with something unique, but it's like, I think 4 in the morning. It's like 3:30 in the morning, y'all. So I mean, I might just go with something safe, and then you get some fun looks on Instagram. So make sure you follow JoBeauty7 on Instagram, because I do fun looks there. And then sometimes y'all say y'all like them, and then that's how you end up getting those random eye look shorts, because you said you like to look on Instagram. So I went ahead and brought it over here. Anyway, I'll be right back. Okay, girl? Okay. I mean, is anybody surprised by what I did? I feel like we're not. It had all the colors for this gorgeous Barbie eye situation going on, so I had to use them. thank you so much. So I started off with the shade Smoothie. Sprinkle is what's on the lid. Lollipop is what I put in the crease. Of course, I use Charms like I said I would. And then I have the shade Delicious in the inner corner. And I ran Slushy on the lower lash line and did the ombre effect that I've been doing on the outer V lately. So that's what I did. So let's start off with the shade Smoothie. I cannot wait to play with this one some more, y'all. Like, I'm excited about tomorrow and what I'm going to do, which I don't know yet. I kind of want to do a, I don't know why lately I've been wanting to do pink and green. So I kind of want to do a pink and green look again, but I'm like, since the green didn't turn out to look the way it looks, because this is the shade Lollipop in the crease, but it definitely does not look the way it looks in the pan in my crease. Like, I feel like it had an oxidizing moment, and it was like, yeah, no. Like, we don't want to be that color in the pan. We want to be this color. So then it was like, we're this color now. And I was just like, oh, so that's what we're doing now. I just have to adjust. Okay, got it. So I definitely feel like I had to adjust the look around the fact that it turns to this more bluish shade as opposed to the mint shade I feel like it looks in the pan. Or is it just like that dressed it like it's blue and then people are like, no, it was whatever other color it was people thought it was. So like, is it one of those moments? I don't know. But, you know. Because that shade wasn't exactly the color that it looked in the pan, I was like, let me just adjust life. So yeah. So now we got the shade Smoothie on, look it on nice and whatever. Because at first I was gonna like play it safe and use the shade like buttercream or like, you know, gingerbread or whatever. I was gonna use gingerbread here or buttercream, but I ended up just being like, you know, we just gonna go for the bright pink crease. If y'all notice, I've been doing a whole bunch of just random weird crease colors lately as opposed to colors that are played safe in the crease. Now I'm going to go into shade Charms, but you know, I've been here for it. It's been a whole vibe for me. So I feel like this purple looked a little patchy when I first put it on, but I ended up being able to work it out and blend it out and make it work. But I did definitely have to work with it. It wasn't just like a purple I could, you know, excuse me, put on and go. And I have to worry about the patchiness on the outer V. And you know, some purples are like that. Not necessarily to make the whole palette bad. It's just kind of disappointing because it's a darker shade in here, and then you have to do a lot of work to, like, you know, get it to be not patchy, for lack of better terms. I'm kind of just like, But I definitely feel like it looks a little patchy, or it's just leaving like a little patch on my eye. And y'all see I'm patting it on. I'm not doing the way I normally do, which is like blend it, because I saw that it was leaving a patchy spot. But I'm like, I feel like it's still just doing that, and I'm like, So that's the only honest complaint I have. I feel like the other purples in the other palette don't do this to me, so I don't know if it's like they changed. It's something different they had to do with this palette, or you know, I hate to be that person, like maybe I just got a bad one, I don't know. But like, I feel like the purples in the Serenity palette don't do this, or in the Muse palette. I feel like it's just this one that's giving me this hard time, but it's cool, whatever. Yeah, I guess I'll just start blending it out now that I kind of let the shape down the way I want it. Try not to blend it out too much. So I usually try to go like right to this part of my brow and then just go backwards and call it a day. Go take that same brush with the pink and just dust around it. Now, I did take that shade Slushy and run on the lower lash line, so I'll do that really quick. I want to do it once I got the purple part at the top together, so that way it could blend nicely. And I think it blended in really nice into this greenish blue shade I had on from the other palette earlier. So that's another reason I picked this particular shade, because I was like, I need something that's going to blend to the other shade. It's not going to change the color of it too much and have me out here looking crazy. So that's why I picked the blue shade. Plus, y'all know I love a blue, pink, and purple moment, just like I love a blue, green, and purple moment. So it's one of my favorite type of color combinations to do. So let's just go ahead with it just because. So I think we're looking pretty good so far. And honey, when I put that lid shade on before I did on camera, y'all was like, ooh, yes, honey. So I did another extra step that I don't normally do. Like, I felt compelled to do it. I don't know why, but you know, I did. So here we are. I cut the crease with some eyeshadow primer just to kind of make the crease shade look a little smoother. So the way I normally like put on my glitter glue, I kind of did that with my eyeshadow primer. So I kind of just like patted it around where I normally would cut the crease, like right in here, and put the eyeshadow primer there, so that the shade would be more pigmented in the crease, as opposed to, y'all know how it be fading sometimes on me. So I figured maybe I'd try this and see if it worked out better for me. So on the other side I did it smoother, but you know, it's cool. It should still work out okay. And then we're gonna glitter glue wherever I screwed up and put the shimmer on, so it shouldn't be too bad. But I wanted to show y'all this part on camera since it's not something I normally do, so you can see if you see a difference in the way I do it versus when I don't do it this way, because I can see it, but I just wanted to see if you all could tell. Now we're gonna go into the shade Lollipop. That's the one that I thought was much lighter. Cause see on the brush it looks this color, but you see on my eye it's not that color, so it definitely oxidizes down. Just something to be mindful of. If my skin tone, you be looking for this color to look like that. As you can clearly see, she is not looking like that. Once you put on, she's gonna fade and be like a more of a deepish blue type shade. So if you wanted it to look like it does in the pan, bear in mind it's not going to if you are my skin tone. Now, I feel like when Angie used this same shade, I think she did, don't quote me, she might have used the mint shade, and that's what I was thinking about, because I did watch her video and I'm pretty sure she did 2 looks in it. And I feel like hers, you know, color stayed true, but Angie is much lighter than I am, so that's something we have to keep in mind too. So I'm just blending that on the outer V to make it blend in nicely. Now we're just gonna blend in the crease now that we have laid the color down. So, see how I feel like it looks more defined and cut than it normally does when I just dust it in there after I put on these shades. So I might start doing them more often because I'm definitely liking the way the crease is looking a lot more defined and cut than it normally does. Now we're gonna get into cutting with the glitter glue and putting on this gorgeous shimmer shade. And then I did put a little bit more purple on the outer V here, and then I put the glue on top of that, and then I put that shade Delight on, and we were done, girl, or we will be done with the eye that you watching, because I already came on here with one. So glitter glue away, girl. Follow me, just right here and start cutting, honey. Cut with the glitter. I'm hoping my Shroud palette comes tomorrow, so that way when I get off work and it's Friday, I can just go ahead and film with it, because I don't want to have to try to come out here Saturday night just to film that video, because I'm gonna have to reset up my room and all that if Adrian's best friend gets to spend the night. It's kind of really short notice because like it's Thursday now and I'm asking her about literally the next day, so I'm like, I don't know how that well that's gonna go. But Adrian literally just came back yesterday, so I couldn't ask any sooner. So hopefully she says okay. If not, we'll have to wait another week and the world won't come to an end. But I'm gonna take the shade Sprinkle now, and y'all look. Honey, look at how it's reflected, honey. It's reminding me of that shade in the Mothership, what is it, 8 Artistry palette. It's definitely giving that, with Sextra Virtual, I believe that's the name of the shade, don't quote me. But it's giving the vibe of that shade. When I saw it in the pan, I was like, ooh, yes. And then that shade, I think it's called Fake or something, in the Juvia's Place Wahala 2 palette. It's a few, like I think 2 or 3 palettes my collection has the same shading. I love it every single time I use it. I'm just over here like, yeah, acting like I've never seen it before, and I've had those palettes for like how many years now? But honey, like since I don't reach for them as often as I do other stuff because it interests me more, I'm excited to have it in the palette that I feel like I reach for more, because I definitely feel like I reach for this palette line. I mean, look at that. Look how stunning it is, girl. You're not gonna tell me that won't keep, because no one's listening. Now let's go back in the shade Charms. I'm gonna put that back on out of V here. I feel like it just looks like it was a little patchy right in this area right here. That's why I'm mainly blending in that area. Now we're gonna take the blue shade, Slushy, and we're gonna pat that on top of here. And I kind of went like this. Kind of marry those 2 shades together on both sides, like so. I'm just gonna keep doing it till it looks the way it should. Excuse me, like it's nice, just blended shift of shades. Pat it. It's a new method for me, because sometimes I feel like I still struggle with it. Okay, y'all, so the card decided to get full while I was talking, so we just gonna go ahead and I finished the outer V, as you can see, the nice little gradient that matches this side, but I'm going to the shade Delicious now, put that in the inner corner, and then we'll talk about my thoughts on this palette. Ooh, Lord, I picked the wrong brush. Well, so Y'all, I mean, look at this inner corner shade. That is such a me shade. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. I can't wait to put on my actual eyelids. I did a little bit too much. So now, one side looks way more reflective than the other one. And I'm gonna have to fix that. But since it's a softer formula, like a whole little chunk just came out with that side. So thank goodness a little chunk came out on this side. Now that I'm like trying to finish up. Otherwise I'd be looking real crazy right now. Yeah, so these are the finished eyes with the Delicious Delights palette. And honey, I must say, she's giving, I'm living. I feel like we got a pretty nice, smoky-ish candy cane, or not candy cane, like colorful Skittles eye look, I guess you could call this. Or bubblegum. Yeah, I guess this would be more considered bubblegum in my personal opinion, just because of the color combination that I chose. But yeah, honey, she's giving, I'm living, I love it. Needless to say, I'm loving it. I'm loving the highlighter palette too. Like that shade Golden Apple is just giving something special to me that I feel like was missing in the other palettes that we compared it to. I don't know what it is. I guess it's because I feel like it looks really subtle in spite of being a green highlighter, and it works subtly nice on my skin tone. Like, it's definitely giving me the vibes of the Natasha Denona like pastel highlighter palette, like the formula wise. That's the vibe it gives me on my face. Except this one to me gives a little bit more glitter to it. Whereas hers, I feel like has that more like satiny looking finish to it on the skin. But it still looks nice on the face. So I must say, I am very impressed with both of the items that I tried. And I am so glad to have them in my collection. Honey, if you did not get your hands on this palette, I feel like you should definitely try to get your hands on this palette. Because she looks stunning and you will be getting more looks from me this week. I kind of want to put the mint and blue shades together. And then maybe do like a nice pink purple moment. Y'all know this drill. I'll normally do some stuff like that. I might put like a little nice neutral moment on too, putting the pop of yellow on the lid. I think that could be fun. So I'm seeing a lot of possibilities with this palette, and I am so happy that I ended up getting it. But we knew I was going to get it. I mean, you saw it. You see how I'm rocking it on the eyes. It just looks stunning. I would definitely recommend you get this. This is more affordable than the Glam Light one. I feel like even with shipping, this one is more affordable than the Glam Light Ice Cream Dream one. And I definitely like the color story and the fact that this has dual chromes in it better, or multi-chromes or whatever. So I would definitely say get your hands on this if you didn't get the Ice Cream Dream. Not to mention this one is smaller than that one. And I know some people don't like bigger palettes, so you might not like it because it's a bigger palette. But yeah, I love this palette. I am so glad that they came out with it. And I got a chance to get it. Because I remember when Serenity came out, like the first 2 or 3 times I didn't get my hands on it, and I was feeling some type of way. So I make sure from now on that I jump on these collections when they happen. So those are my thoughts on the palette. I think it's wonderful. I think it's their standard formula. I think it's a gorgeous color story, and I think that if you like colors like this, you should get your hands on it, because this is definitely a reasonably priced palette for the product and the quality that you're getting. I mean, look at you getting one of Mother's shades in this palette. This palette I think was like $25, and you can use Karen's code. So there you go. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you're all the dimes. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.